you are ready to begin your KonMari journey, or perhaps you've already been tidying, I encourage you to first start with following these 7 tips and recommendations that I am going to be sharing with you. I know that there is natural tendency, especially when you get that decluttering bug, to just jump right into things. But I've seen it happen time and time again where people go full out, they declutter like crazy, and then they hit a wall, they hit that burnout spot, and they stop. And that's not what I want to happen for you. And I promise that if you follow these 7 very easy, very simple recommendations of mine, you will lay a very solid foundation for completing the KonMari method. So it's really worth your while to, and I know when you're raring to go, it's a hard thing sometimes to do, but I really do encourage you to take a bit of time, go through these 7 things, get them done, and you will be in the best place ever to begin your tidying journey. So let's start with my first recommendation, and that is to complete your vision guide. So if you're not familiar with what a vision is, it's basically your reason for wanting to go through the KonMari method. I've made it really simple to establish this. I have a free download that I'll have a link down below in the description box. You can download it and print it from there, but if you don't have a printer accessible, then you can just simply copy your answers into a notebook. And I'll actually encourage you to refer to your vision guide throughout the entire process. So when you are feeling really low and you're feeling tired, you feel like you just can't even imagine decluttering one more thing, I am going to remind you about your vision. And what you can do is simply have a read through, refer to that. It will be a motivator for you. So first step, again, complete the vision guide, and do so when you're in a good headspace. So quiet your surroundings, really allow yourself to tap into what is motivating you to want to completely declutter your home. So that's step number 1. And step number 2 is to share your vision with those that will be affected by your tidying effort. So this might be your partner, children, roommates. Unless you live alone, I really do encourage and suggest that you have the conversation. Now, the conversation does not need to be framed around inviting those people or forcing those people to declutter with you. It's more or less a heads up. It's a courtesy to let them know that you are going to be busy doing this. And usually what happens is a bigger dialogue comes from that. So you may discuss as a family, especially how everybody is functioning around the home, why you would like to declutter so that people can enjoy your space more, so that you can have more family time and not spend it constantly cleaning, so that you can just live more fully. Allow that conversation to play out very naturally. Don't be very rigid, and really don't be discouraged or frustrated if you're not met with immediate positive reception. I promise you it will come at some point, but be patient. Start first with doing this for yourself. It's a gift that you will be giving to yourself, and in turn it will be extended to those that you share your home with. So that's step number 2. And step number 3 is to start a journal or a notebook. And you can really use this in a couple of ways, whatever speaks most to you. I do recommend at the end of every tidying session, just jotting down a few notes on how you're feeling. Sometimes we're feeling different emotions. Maybe it was a really heavy tidying session, or maybe it was just kind of a stressful tidying session, or maybe it was just, you know, you got through it. But either way, I found in my experience, and I've seen it as well with clients that I've worked with, when you jot down just even a couple of notes, it's amazing what comes to light. And it's important to let that go throughout the process. So that's the first way that you can use your notebook. The second is to jot down ideas as they come to you. Now, inspiration might come in the form of an organizing idea that you might like to implement after you're done your tidying, because we're not organizing while we're tidying. So save that in your notebook. You can refer to it later. Maybe you have some inspiration for decorating or bigger ideas for your home at large, make sure that you keep these ideas where you will be able to easily refer to them, and having just a dedicated notebook works really well for this. Number 4, take before photos. Even if you're a little bit scared to do so, these are so fun. This will serve as such a reward for yourself when you are done with your decluttering, to be able to refer back to how things look before versus how they are now. It's really nice to be able to have that visual comparison. So do yourself a favor and do it in the moment. Don't clean the room and then take a picture. Take a picture in that moment. And again, these are just for your reference. You don't have to share these pictures with anybody else, but do yourself a favor and do that. Number 5, establish a game plan and a schedule for your tidying. I'll tell you, when you get into the thick of your tidying, it can feel a little disruptive if you're not organized to your home. So you want to make sure that you're very intentional with your time, with your efforts. You want to keep the disruption to your home as minimal as possible. And I find by establishing a game plan and being really realistic with your schedule ensures that you'll be able to do this. So on the whole, look at your week, look at your general routine, schedule, and commitments, and determine what time is going to work best, what day of the week is going to be most conducive for you. It might play out that it's like a full Saturday a week, or maybe even every second week. Maybe evenings are better suited for you and your family's needs. And what I recommend doing is every Sunday, whether you are a planner or not, lock in your plan for the week. Dedicate, the time necessary, plan for that well in advance, and let family know. When we were going through our decluttering, I was very notorious for mentally planning a Saturday for decluttering, but not sharing that plan with Rob. And so Saturday would roll around and I would be raring to go with decluttering, and Rob would be thinking that we were doing something entirely different. So do yourself a favor, plan ahead. So number 7 is to predetermine what your plan is going to be for your unwanted items. So perhaps you're planning on selling maybe some higher end, some high ticket priced items. Maybe you're planning on exclusively donating, or perhaps you'll be doing a combination of the both. Best to determine what your options are ahead so that you're not losing time during your decluttering by trying to figure out where you can unload these items. So look into local buy and sell options. Facebook Marketplace is wonderful, as well as Kijiji if you're in Canada, Craigslist if you are in the US. Donations. Local to me, there's even collection agencies that will come around and pick things up from your door. Even if you're not home, all you have to do is put a sticker on the item, just to let them know that you want them to remove that bag, and they'll take it right from your doorstep. I think various options also exist in the US. The Canadian Diabetic Association is actually the one I'm referring to in Canada. So that's a wonderful service. Doesn't even require you leaving your home to get rid of these things, and they're going to a wonderful cause. Last but not least, number 7, I am going to very much encourage you to do this. Engage. Engage, engage, engage. And you can do this in so many different ways. I think the most obvious, if you're going to be following along with my videos, is to do so in the comments section. Let's be honest, let's be real, let's be a little bit vulnerable. Let's share our highs and our lows and support one another. So put it out there. In the comments, I will do my best to reply to everybody, but I also encourage everybody to extend the same to one another. Offer your support, your recommendations, your suggestions. We are all in this together. Join my Facebook page. I'll be posting regularly there as well. I'm on Instagram. Connect. It will allow you to just feel plugged into your journey, and it will allow you to share with those that are going through the exact same experience, and that is so invaluable. So that is my list of 7 things that I recommend you to do before you begin your tidying, and you will be so glad that you did. You will be locked and loaded, ready to go. And until next time, I wish you happy tidying, and we'll catch up in my next video. Bye for now.